Hey everybody, this is Lisa and Nancy, and today we are at the wonderful and beautiful Victorian, it's a Victorian bed and breakfast.
Yes.
She is a pink lady.
That's right.
And she's called the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast in Asheville, North Carolina, and we're in the Montford National Historic District. And we're sitting with, we've got our good friends here. They've become good friends.
That's right.
We're having wine and beer, right?
Yep,
Steve, we've got Steve, we've got Karen. They're the owners here. But Steve, this is part of the welcome committee. Is not just the two of you. We've got Ozzy and Oreo, the two little dogs.
That's right.
Yeah.
And beer.
That's right. We offer a pint of beer to our guests when they first get here. If
We didn't
they're-
complain.
Yeah, that's right. Not many do.
Yeah.
No, but it's good. But you brew it.
That's
Yes.
right. Yeah, we've been brewing our own beer. I've been doing it for about 5 years, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a little hobby, trying to save a little money and make some better beer, and it got to be more fun. And once we decided to get in the bed and breakfast business, we thought it'd be a good idea to start sharing with our guests, being that we're in Beer City, USA.
This is awesome.
It's very
Exactly.
cool because I'm not normally a big beer drinker, and I liked it.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool.
It's all about
Yeah.
what Nancy wants and
well,
says.
yeah.
Seriously, it's all about
Well, it is. I mean,
Right.
But this is, you've got breweries, but you also said there's like a bourbon bar and there's other
Yeah.
distilleries coming up here
There's
too.
definitely-
Yeah, there's a couple of
Distilleries,
distilleries.
wineries.
They just opened a bourbon cigar bar downtown.
Okay.
Right down on in the South Slope, which is basically
The beer
known
area.
as the beer area, but somebody slipped a bourbon bar in there for anybody who might not like beer.
Is it near the Lawyers Avenue, Lawyer Street that we were on today? What was that? I was like, the lawyer walk. I'm like, what is that? It's like, here's where all the lawyers are in one big street. Like, if you get in trouble,
That's
we
right.
could have all their 1-800, call me.
Yeah, I imagine there could be a couple of drinking and driving violations here and there. So
I wouldn't want to drink and drive here. This
No.
is a very, well, you shouldn't anyway,
You could
obviously,
drink
before I
and
get those emails. But the roads here are very windy. They're fun. It's
hilly,
beautiful.
narrow, and but
Yeah, the hilly
Yeah.
thing. Sunday, we
Yeah.
just drove out of Florida. We don't know what a hill is anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
even though we were just in
Yeah.
Colorado, right?
yeah.
True.
But it's. Do you ever watch Keeping Up Appearances with Hyacinth Bouquet? It's a British
I
thing.
watched that a few times.
Have
I used to
not
watch
seen
that when I worked in my old job. When I worked on the night shift, we used to watch that because we had a TV inside where we worked. And
Cool.
one of my friends is actually from London, so
Yeah.
we used to watch Bouquet. And,
Yeah, it's a bouquet.
yeah,
Bucket.
Bouquet or bucket. Yeah.
So Nancy, as we're driving around here, is very much to do it.
Wait.
Mind the pedestrian.
Oh, mind the pedestrian. That's true.
Everywhere we're driving
Mind the
here.
pedestrians, dear.
Well, and it is it does feel European English here, and it makes sense,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it is beautiful. This is a beautiful area. It's not the same, like, I think when we got here, we said it's not like, we've been through like all these mountain states, Colorado. I mean,
Right.
that's some massive mountain country out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is mountain country, but the weather is awesome. Oh my gosh, what, 70 something degrees today?
I know.
My car tire said, "Excuse me, you need to change my pressure."
Yeah. I know. It really drops. It comes
Yeah, for
and
the
goes.
most part, our summers are fairly mild. I mean, we'll get a couple weeks in July where maybe it'll get into the low 90s or something like that, and a little bit humid. And we had that last week, but normally it stays in the mid 80s through summer. And even
That's
the winters, we
nice.
don't get a lot of snow, and it's not sticky like the rest of the state. If you go down to Charlotte or Raleigh, I mean, you'll get in that
The
humidity,
humid-
and it's
Yeah.
sometimes almost unbearable, but it's pretty.
This is
Yeah.
is like a year-round destination then.
Yeah.
It could be, yeah.
It is for the most part.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So the B&B itself is this, it's the manor. See, but it's la-di-da, but you guys, it's incredibly comfortable. I was talking about this being like,
Yeah.
you've got the Lion and the Rose, and the Lion is the king of the jungle, or
Yeah.
but this is the king of comfort. I think there's a very comfortable, where it's spacious, you can
Yeah.
breathe.
Yeah.
You slept well?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so did I, and it was like,
big
then all of a
bed.
sudden it was time to get up and roll out of bed to
Yes,
roll
like-
into the Riverside Cemetery, and I was like, what am I doing? This is so comfortable.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did you feel like you were dead? That you were that tired?
No, as soon as we got out, I was I did have my shirt on inside out this morning.
that's right.
Remember? I did have that. I was like, we're filming you making breakfast, and I'm
Yeah.
like, Oh, that's interesting. Oh, well, I don't think the cemetery people noticed somehow.
No, that's good. That's
No, but maybe some of the dog walkers. You have a lot of dogs around here.
very dog friendly.
Dog friendly,
Yeah.
beer friendly,
Yeah.
mountain friendly,
Yeah.
Food
everything.
friendly, artist friendly, you
Yeah.
name it.
Mhm. Oh, tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about the food scene because breakfast was amazing.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the French toast and real bacon.
Yep.
Yes.
No, there's
Yeah,
no
good stuff.
little teeny,
No, we get the thick stuff out here. They're good.
Yeah,
Really good
with
stuff.
French
Really
toast.
good.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
was really good. That was yummy. So everybody watch for the recipe on that. You also have another recipe we're going to be talking about too because
Yeah.
you take part of what you do with beer and put it into dog biscuits so the dogs are all happy.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. And we use when we do the beer, we do all grain brewing, so we have a lot of leftover spent grains after we suck all the sugar out of the grain. Rather than putting in the compost heap, we decided we'd go and see what we could find on making
How we
bread
could use
or dog biscuits. So we go ahead and mix that in, makes it a little more healthy for them, and the dogs really
They
seem to love it.
They
Wow.
love it.
And so you're helping like the shelters out here?
Yeah, so we decided that we had a little time on our hands. We'd make some dog biscuits, not just for us, but for the local shelter.
Oh, nice.
We got together with friends of ours at the Right Inn, and we all baked like 9 dozen treats for the dogs and went there and gave it to all their shelter dogs.
Sounds
Yeah.
so
That's
cool.
rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
cool. We
awesome.
get to meet like 4 or 5 dogs,
Yeah.
and
That is cool.
Yeah.
See, that's
spend
what we
some
do.
time.
See,
Yeah.
like one of the benefits of coming here are the dogs too.
Exactly.
Your company, the dogs company,
Exactly.
and we go to parks. We cover parks so we can meet dogs.
exactly.
yeah.
Not those kind of dogs,
Yeah.
I know. But you could meet a cool dog. You never know. But that's why we do pet sitting too. It's like I can walk a dog and say, "Do you like my dog?" But really, comfort-wise, there's right now we're in the suite, which is at the very top. This is your biggest suite.
It is.
Yep.
This is a literary community historically. So it's kind of like Melrose Plantation, all the artists and the
Yes.
writers.
Uh-huh.
Oxford, Mississippi is known for all the writers like William Faulkner and
Okay.
Florida Keys, Cuba, because of Ernest Hemingway.
Right.
Here, you've got all of these guys came out here and partied together, and
Yeah.
gals.
Yeah.
The men always get talked about first
Yeah,
in
yeah.
history.
Of course,
Sorry,
yeah.
it's just kind of a
Yeah.
thing that happened.
Yeah, boys love.
Well, it's changing now.
It is.
but artists,
Oh,
artists,
boy.
so this room, though, this suite, I would say for anybody that wants to just even work or write or create, it's like a
Yeah.
It is.
Well, it's
a
over
nice-
600 square feet up here, so you get a
Yeah.
lot of room to breathe and just spread out. And
We have had a couple writers stay up here, and they felt inspired by the area, just the creativity in the area, and
nice
just kinda
balcony. You
stayed
can
up
look
here.
over the whole Montfort neighborhood. At least when the trees don't have the leaves in them, we have so many big trees out here. It's so green and everything, which is a nice touch, I think. But
I like that balcony. When I was out there today, I'm like, this makes the perfect like wine time.
yeah,
Exactly. We get a lot of people having nightcaps out
Yeah,
there.
the champagne
we serve
breakfast we
breakfast in the
offer as well.
morning. Yeah,
we
we'll
offer
do
champagne breakfast up here. So
Well, why aren't we doing our Champagne Sundays radio show up here? I just want to know. I'm just saying. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What happens in the champagne breakfast? Like what would go with it?
well, we
Normally Sunday is our signature pancakes. So
Yeah.
it would be that, and then we do the champagne, and then some people were making the mimosas with the orange juice. So
Orange
that's
juice.
kind of what gave us the idea of doing the beer mimosas.
Beer mimosas. I
Wow.
like that.
yeah, too. Since
So
let's
now
get
that's
Beer
what
City
we're
and we
trying.
make our own beer, and
Yeah.
actually it might sound a little weird, but it's actually quite good.
Yeah.
Well, you put oranges in Blue Moon.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you could make beer bread.
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
We have
that's
done that.
good.
We have done that, and we've
Cool.
done that as an
And we've
appetizer.
done really good reviews on that.
And
Yeah,
beer
because
cheese.
that's good stuff.
Oh
It
yeah,
is very
Beer cheese.
beer cheese bread.
yeah, we've done that too. The beer cheese bread is really good.
Where you have the dip inside the bread.
Yeah, we'll make
It's
like a French bread
delicious.
loaf, and we'll cut out the middle,
Yeah.
and then we'll get a bunch of cheese and some cream cheese, and we'll mix a little beer with that, and we put it inside
Oh, it's like a fondue, but like
the.
a
Yeah,
different.
kinda,
exactly,
It's kind of like
yeah.
a built-in fondue, and then you go and bake it in the oven for about
Ooh, that
half
sounds
hour.
good.
Oh my
Slice it
god!
up. Oh my gosh.
It is really good.
Like why aren't we here longer? I know. Well, really lucky that we ended up being able to kind of breeze through town and wreak
Yeah.
havoc
Yeah, sure.
and come here. But
Yeah.
how old is the B&B? When was it first built?
The B&B started in 1985. The house itself is 1898.
Wow.
So it's been in B&B 35 years. We're the fourth owners.
Yeah.
And it's
Cool.
you've got 5 rooms or one suite, and then the other 4 rooms, which are spacious and comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like as I was saying, the comfiness, clean. I know everybody's concerned of during the COVID times. You guys
Right.
rock,
Yeah.
with how you're handling things, and
Yeah.
the other thing is it's walkable. That
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
we walk to the
Oh,
cemetery.
that's what I like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Me too.
Nancy wants to like hang out in everyone's garden.
I do.
This morning, she's like,
Yeah.
oh no, let's go look at that." I'm like, "Nancy, no, people are out with their coffee." She's like, "I don't care."
I'm going to just say hi, y'all.
Well, it's like, what are you
Yeah.
drinking? So that's really what she wants to do.
Yeah.
But it's really just to walk around, and then you've got restaurants.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you say, there's so many nice gardens. All these our neighbors have some
awesome.
really nice.
Yeah.
Well,
gardens
yours?
and everything. And we
Excuse
live-
me,
yeah,
yours is pretty darn
Yeah.
nice too.
Thank you.
And you've got a certified wildlife habitat, which
That's right.
I raise a glass to.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
me
you.
too.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks.
We're excited about that.
Pause
Yep.
for a drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Cheers.
pause for a pause.
There we go. There we go.
Now you've got wildlife, you've got birds, cardinals. You were saying cardinals come out here.
Cardinals, blue jays, catbirds.
Catbirds?
Yeah, catbirds.
Yeah.
They're similar to mockingbirds, but
Oh.
they're kind of a darker gray, with little darker heads, and they're not quite as vocal as them. And they make a little bit of racket.
Yeah,
Do you have cardinals?
We do have
we
cardinals.
do have a lot of
Okay.
cardinals.
Blue
there's
jays?
We
They're the
do.
pair. Yeah, we have some blue jays. They're kind of, I would say, periodic. Certain times in the winter they're not around, then they come back in the spring, and then they kind of disappear at the beginning of summer, and they come back again. You can hear them screaming.
Yeah.
But we have hawks,
Hummingbirds.
Hummingbirds.
Hummingbirds, cool. Yeah, I saw the feeders out there for them, and then you got
Yep.
bird boxes.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever see yourself putting up a bat box?
That would be interesting.
Ooh.
I like that idea.
They're really good at getting rid of mosquitoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we might need
that-
that because the mosquitoes get a little bad around here sometimes.
Yeah, that
so
would be a bad idea.
that's
Yeah.
And
That would be a good idea.
I hear that there are bears, like urban bears, that hang
Oh,
out in
sure.
Nashville. I think
There are.
they know that beer is going on, and I think they're smelling
Yeah,
that.
maybe
They're like,
that's it.
somebody's making some honey wheat ale or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
They
it
smell
is
the
all
sweet
this
drinks
time.
and- well, there's actually a story. Last year, one of the breweries downtown, they had their cameras on, and bear walked right through the brewery.
That was
No
like
way.
God.
Yeah,
4th
there's
of
one-
July.
Yeah,
For the time.
And the
It's
video
like-
went viral.
one of their workers up there. I'm working on. I think they're adding some grains into the boiler,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're there by themselves. And there goes a bear just walking through the brewery.
Yeah, you can see him go in the front door through the garage door, and then they switched to the camera inside. He just walked around the facilities and went out the back door. The whole joke was like he couldn't wait for the brewery to open,
Yeah.
and all these different things, all these different captions. It was
Oh,
pretty
how
funny.
cool though.
See, we didn't
Yeah.
see any this morning, and part of the reason we went to the cemetery was like we were looking for bears.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, obviously, looking for these noteworthy grave sites there, and
Sure.
Right, right.
that cemetery. I mean, it was
It's big.
really
It is
it's
But
big.
It's a
you
big
get a workout
yeah.
walking in there with
And I
all
thought it was little hills and windy,
Yeah.
and then
Exactly.
it's like you're trying to read a map, which we're, I know we travel full time, but hey, we did okay.
Yeah, but you still turn the map every time you
I
go around
turn-
the corner.
whenever I go
she
right, I
turns
turn the
and
map.
I'm like, so we end up going in circles. I can't seem to get that across.
We did find some of the ones that we wanted to see, but then we needed to come back. We were on time schedule today, but
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thomas Wolfe is one that we wanted to definitely stop by and
Yeah.
pay respects to.
Right.
Famous writer, and people are leaving him pens. They're trying to get that juju on, that
Yeah,
writing,
exactly.
that writing juju.
Well,
It's a
Exactly.
symbol of respect.
It is too. And then
Yeah.
O. Henry is buried there, Mr.
Yep.
Porter, and
Yeah.
I find that really interesting because that, we were looking at some of the family history records of the owners here,
Yeah.
and that tied back to Porter too today.
There was something in
Porterville.
about Porter.
There's Porterville in there.
Yeah.
There's like these interesting
Yeah.
connections that I'm kind of geeking out on the history here. Like, it's
There's a lot here.
I think that you had a lot of literary art people, Carl Sandburg, F. Scott Fitzgerald
Yeah.
Yeah.
and his wife.
Yeah.
Interesting
saying, like,
gossip. You got
Hemingway.
gossip, man.
Yeah, Hemingway had some
definitely.
ties here too, right?
Yeah, Hemingway has ties to F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
He was really pissed at Zelda Fitzgerald because he said she screwed up his writing
Yeah.
at one point. And
Yeah.
it could be because now
He was jealous.
Hemingway drank a lot too, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But he only apparently really went on his benders after he finished his novel.
Okay.
So that was his treat, to go off
Okay.
with his cats and walk through Cuba or the Keys or wherever it was. He did. He has all his cats.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
Yeah, we do know his cats. Yeah, the five paws, the
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
sure,
That's
totally.
right. Yeah. So Hemingway would write letters to F. Scott Fitzgerald like, "Your wife is this, this, this," and Zelda didn't care because she didn't know where she was half the time. She had like these things happen in her
She had
mind.
busy mind.
She had
things
schizophrenia
going on.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And so there was all this tension, yet those two loved each other. But eventually he went to LA, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and had an affair on her. She didn't
Yeah.
know about it. But then eventually they would reunite, and they had a daughter and all that stuff. But he died, cirrhosis of the liver, heart.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that's connected with being like a happy drinking.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
writing is a very lonely thing, and you go into weird places with your mind, and you are going to have cocktails to help you along.
Well, no,
That's
Yeah.
it.
no,
I could see that.
a lot of
I know it.
it's true because
firsthand.
there's your day-to-day mind, and then
Yeah.
for creative people, which I believe everybody has some level of creativity in them, but for a lot of them to get to that, they have to have a little push,
Yeah.
and then a little help, and
Right.
so sometimes a little libation makes them forget about the day-to-day. Like, put
Yeah.
that
That
aside
makes
for a
sense.
minute, so that you feel, I don't want to say a lack of responsibility, but
Right.
just shut this part off, like the left brain, right brain.
Yeah,
thingy.
yeah,
Shut
yeah.
that off for a little bit, not forever, people, just a little.
Yeah.
And to address the creative side and let
Yeah.
that have a form for a little bit.
Right.
And then it becomes a little bit of a habit.
But
I think
they,
like writers, all write for an hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
they push themselves to do it,
Right.
whether or not what they're writing is of value in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
When they push themselves to do it an hour a day, then they become a writer.
Yeah.
If
That makes sense.
And then,
And then your reward is you get to have a
Interesting.
cocktail afterwards.
Yeah.
It is.
I didn't realize how much Asheville was Days of Our Lives.
No, but the gossip. Okay, going back to F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda, these two were known as like the. She was known as the first flapper of America. He called her that. She was like the first flapper.
Boy.
Yeah, I mean, and so they were like these jazz artists, but they weren't necessarily that. She was a painter, and she only got recognized for her work once she had passed away. And you look at it, she was ahead of her time, and
Yeah.
she was a writer. She got inspired by his last novel that had to do with, big rich people, and I think it kind of went against it. I can't remember the title because
Yeah.
I haven't read it. Now I have to go read all these books. But she got inspired and started to write again, and he had passed away, and then she came back here to the sanitarium or the mental hospital,
Yeah.
mental health place.
Right.
And
to become an unflapping.
no, she goes. But you've got to think back in those days. They did. They. I think they gave you Loglum, so there was something
Oh, see,
good. But then they did that electric shock therapy.
No, don't
And
worry
so
about
she was in a holding room. I would say a holding cell next to the kitchen. The kitchen caught fire, burned the holding room with her in it and 8 other girls. Because when they went on the fire escape was
Wooden.
stairs.
Yeah.
So they all died.
Yeah.
and that's why fire escapes are now metal.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
But so anyway, that's what happened with them. But she is not buried in that cemetery.
No.
I know she's not. But
No.
the hospital is here, Highland
Yep.
Hospital.
Yep,
It's
right
not
around the corner.
named that, but it's a National Historic building. It's right down the road. You could,
Yeah,
and it's
it
also in Highland Park, so you can go there. There's all these. You guys have. It's like the whole place looks like a park with just these
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
historic homes.
Yeah,
Really.
absolutely.
But so you can go there. There, Thomas Wolfe is interesting too because that ties back to here. So,
it does.
and also the other thing, I just circling back to everything in the people that we were visiting in the cemetery. A lot of them were doctors, and a lot of them came here to create this health destination that brought in the Vanderbilts. I'm sorry, but I'm tripping out on your history. I am.
There's a lot of history.
I
There's a lot
am.
of
But the
history.
Vanderbilts come here with the Biltmore Estate.
Right.
They have wine.
Yeah.
We tasted that yesterday. That was they have good wine.
Yep.
We had the Sauvignon Blanc. But it's very nice.
Well, we understand they're working on beer pretty soon too.
Yeah. You're gonna have like a little
Little
rival down the
competition,
road. But how far? You're what? 5-10 minutes from
10
it.
minutes.
Yeah, 10-minute
Yep.
drive.
So garden to garden. I mean, this is a garden destination for that.
absolutely. Yeah.
But so this became like one of the first health like spa destinations. Like
Yeah.
not just spa, but like real health.
Exactly. People
And-
trying to cure their respiratory
TB, I think it was mostly.
issues and all
TB,
that.
yes.
Yeah,
So,
TB.
Henry's wife had TB and he married her when she was too young. Anne had TB, and the parents said no. He goes, I'm taking her.
Oh,
And then he bailed over to Honduras after he embezzled money from a Texas bank.
Yeah. He's a party animal.
yeah.
That's why I think he has pennies on his grave. That's a real story.
Boy, he made a pretty good candy bar too.
Yeah, I know. That's
I know. It's like, oh, Henry, you did it again.
That's a great candy. Great
Oh,
candy
Henry.
bar.
Ah, Henry.
There's a cartoon called Oh Henry, and it's a little bald man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Henry. Yeah.
Yes.
No words or nothing.
Yeah, and he didn't talk. He just
Yeah.
had, and his head
He had a
looked
little
like
ball together, like a
little
light
bald
bulb.
peanut.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like a light bulb. Henry, yeah, I love that comic strip.
I'm gonna go back to the cemetery before we leave and leave a candy bar. I'm gonna leave a candy bar in his grave. Sorry, he embezzled money and flew to Honduras. But going back, so this becomes a health destination, and that is like why the actual people who built this house came here, right?
Yep, the first owners of the house, the husband had respiratory issues. They moved from Wisconsin hoping that would cure it. He managed a few years before he died.
But he was the governor, right? Oh no, the daughter was the
right,
wife
it was the daughter. Yeah,
and
it was the daughter who was with the governor.
Yeah, the daughter. Okay, wait.
Well, she was pretty upstanding, right, in the community for women. At the
For
time.
women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
She
She played a pretty big role for women back then.
So the wife of the guy who built the house, her dad was the governor of Wisconsin for a short period of time.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
And he was in Congress, and then so she's here. She starts getting active in things too, and
Right.
and yeah, because it was Rusk Craig, right?
Yes.
The last names.
Charity Russ Craig. Yeah.
Charity. What a
Yeah,
name!
I know.
You don't hear that
It is-
that often.
no.
Some people
Yeah.
do it.
I don't
I
think
know.
people today would name their daughter Charity. Somehow.
Well, some do.
Maybe
Some do.
liability.
Yeah.
Well, what's going to happen with all the COVID babies that are going to come out? What are they going to call
Charity
them?
liability.
What are they going to call all the COVID babies? I don't know. COVID 1, 9.
Yeah.
Oh.
19, 20, 20.
No, okay, no, but I mean, when they're born, you know, that's good. We're gonna have a whole batch. I'm just saying, and they're all gonna be born around Christmas. You know, it's gonna be an interesting.
true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I know, but sorry. Well, we're talking health.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they build this, but
Yeah.
he was part of the mercantile industry too, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the.
So-
You think back to mercantiles when you could buy anything.
I know.
Now we have Walmart.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Well, we actually have a general store downtown.
Do you? Like a real one?
It's called Mass General Store. Yeah, it's been there for I don't know how many years.
I don't.
That's
I'm
cool.
not sure
Yeah.
how long.
But they sell everything, supposedly.
They do have everything.
Your downtown's a trip.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
we went to the Thomas Wolfe. It's a memorial site and it's a
Yeah.
museum. It was closed right now during COVID,
Yeah.
but
Right.
His house.
that wasn't that part of the boarding house. Or no?
It was. Yeah.
His mom
It
ran the
is,
boarding
exactly.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of boarding
Yeah.
houses were in this
A lot
area.
were in this area. Absolutely.
Yeah, because these houses are huge.
Yeah, these
Yeah,
are.
so they turned a lot of them into boarding houses, which
Well,
now
she's
they're
the one I think
apartments.
supposedly had the bed stacked so tight in there for $1 a bed, and
A dollar a bed.
She just
people
turned
were
it
getting
fit as much
sick.
she could in
Didn't
there.
matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she should know better because they came here.
I know.
No, it's the other person. But so Thomas Wolfe's dad, though, was well, he was in the funeral industry,
Yes.
and he was the one who put the angel in the window to say, "Here I am." That was before neon signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had them coming and going.
See,
it.
I know.
That's
So-
what they did.
oh my gosh! And he
Isn't
used
it
to
cool that
stack
the
his
angel
bodies.
wings
That's what
lit
I was
up?
saying. But But so she did the boarding house. That was after the father died, and that was to raise money. And
Yes.
but then Thomas Wolfe's book was about his family, his mom, his dad, and brought in the whole angel in the window thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then one of the owners of here, it was after the initial family. It was Mr. French or French.
The French Tom. So the second family that owned it was the Toms family, and the son, Charles French Toms, was friends with Thomas Wolfe. So in Look Homeward Bound Angel,
Yeah, that's right.
he was named Tom French. They just
Switched
swapped
it.
the name.
I like French Tom. You French Tom. I started getting the giggles. I was like, you French Tom.
But French Tom sounds like you're saying he was French.
I know. So I was like, French Tom.
So that's
Yeah.
why I would change the name too.
Well, there's a
Too.
story, and they told us that he pissed a lot of people off when he wrote that book because he wrote a lot about
The locals.
the locals. Yeah,
Yeah.
There was a lot of
Mhm.
stuff. There was a lot of
Exactly.
scandals and things like
See,
that.
I know.
He wrote
It's
about
so
all the
cool.
gossip. He
But
did.
yeah,
It's cool.
you also had a really cool husband and wife writer team that documented a lot of the people's stories here, and they've both passed on. Pretty recent. She died in 2005,
Okay.
and they wrote the people, the culture, and they've dedicated. And I cannot remember the name because it's pretty long, and I'm having wine, so
Okay.
it's out the
Yeah,
window. But they dedicated a park, a greenway, to her and her name
Yeah,
because of
I
what
can't
she
think of
did.
the name.
But it's no, I don't even want to try because it's going to come out really wrong. But anyway, so I think it's really interesting about all this,
It is.
the arts here. And Carl Sandburg came through here, but I think the Fitzgeralds win.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah,
no
that's
idea because everybody thinks about the F. Scott Fitzgerald,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
him,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Star Spangled
Yeah.
Banner.
Yeah.
They think about that, but I don't know how many people realize how much he wrote. See? They're all getting the giggles.
Everything's better
Yeah.
with wine
Yeah. See? There it
or
is.
beer.
I know. But okay, so what is your website for everybody to know?
Sorry.
I know.
Lion-rose.com.
Lion-rose.com, and you're on everything for social media.
Yep, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it.
I did want to go back to a question we didn't get to because we always get sidetracked 'cause we're good at it. And I sidetrack us all the time too. Is food. So we were talking about, you've got Smoky Mountains, the Blue Ridge Parkway
Yep.
right here,
Yeah.
right? So that's
Yeah.
one of the draws is wildlife, nature,
Absolutely.
outdoors, right?
Orange Parkway.
Food, this is something that's becoming a big deal here.
It's been coming a few years at least.
Yeah.
It's definitely become more of a foodie destination. Got a lot of chefs that have come here to make their mark, create their own cuisine. We have a lot of different fusion type restaurants.
That's cool.
So
Yeah,
it
especially,
makes it unique.
With COVID and all that, a lot of more people are spending times outdoors.
Right.
So they're going up the Blue Ridge Parkway and they're hitting a lot of our trails. We have the Mountain to Sea Trail is up there. Several entrance points are up there on the parkway itself, so it makes it easy access. You have the Appalachian Trail, of course, which is kind of right on the border of Tennessee.
Appalachian.
Appalachian.
I'll throw an Appalachian. That's what I was taught.
I
I know.
always taught Appalachian, so
I was as well, but I
I
know.
don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong.
I think it depends on what side of the
Where you
trail
live
you're on.
I think so.
But a lot more people are interested in the outdoors, and they're coming to us because Karen and I, we're big in the outdoors, and we pretty much we tout that on our social media.
Yeah.
When we go out, and we love nature, we love the outdoors, we love exploring.
Have to
and-
share it with everybody else too.
Well, you
Yeah.
guys have
Share it.
traveled, all over the
Sure,
place.
yeah.
Kenya, Alaska, Canada.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
And we've
South
both been around the
Africa.
world. I mean, we just
Yeah.
if we go to India, then we got the full circle.
Yeah, well, you got to go to India. Exactly.
Eventually.
We haven't done India yet. That's a dream
Yeah.
of ours. But
Yeah.
the wildlife is, I think that's what's so cool about here is you've got, nature right outside
Sure.
your back door. And I love that you're a
There.
certified wildlife habitat. But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's cool because just the way you're set up, I think you're set up perfectly for people that want to have the non-hotel stay
Exactly.
and want to have that B&B. I think you're set up for all ages. It's just a different,
we think so too.
very
Yeah.
authentic,
Yeah.
relaxed.
We think so too.
You guys are so much fun. I mean, we're
Yeah.
giggling through our interview, which is
Yeah.
the way it should be.
It should be.
And that's the thing. I mean, last night we came in and had a beer, and then it's like, oh wait, it's almost like too late to get dinner. But that's because we're talking about animals and wildlife and
Yeah.
how much there is to
Connecting,
see and
yeah.
do here.
Yeah, we can talk about that all day.
I know.
I'm still mad that you saw salamanders and I haven't seen them in the wild
It took us
yet.
a little bit to see that.
And
but
beluga
no.
whales.
And,
Yeah, polar bears.
That's
So is
the
part
way.
of it for you getting to meet other travelers and hearing about places that you haven't
Sure,
been to?
yeah. We love to
Absolutely,
share our
we'd
stories.
love to share our stories.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear their stories.
So I
It's
thought you
inspiring
guys-
to everybody, I think, to share our fun.
Yeah. Now, everyone, when you get here, ask about their musical backgrounds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got the middle mama over there.
I've got the guitarist over there.
Guitarist and metal mama. Yeah, there it is. Beer making, dog biscuit making.
Got a little bit of
Maybe a
everything.
jam
Yeah.
session on the porch.
You guys in the Sweet Biscuit Inn, we're gonna have to have like a B&B, like.
Jam session.
I just
right.
feel like we should do rockabilly because you could put metal
do
into
rockabilly.
We could do
rockabilly,
it.
right?
Sure,
Yeah.
we could do.
Yeah, yeah.
We could have fun with it.
Yeah.
How far is like what's the furthest away that you've had guest wise, like that where they've come from? You think?
Israel,
Oh.
I think.
Israel?
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's
That's
farther than
probably.
Germany.
We've had
No.
Australia.
Well, that's
Maybe
good.
Australia's farther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think Australia is the
Yeah.
furthest, probably.
Do most people come here because of the parks, or is it just the whole scene? And also
it comes
feels
and goes.
college town, like-
Before it was a lot more built more. Now it's definitely a lot more with the outdoors. and
Okay.
nature.
Yeah.
But since I think people have started to learn more about us, they realize that that's what we're into. So we get a lot of people here more for the beer now, for the outdoors, the
It's
nature.
taken a while, but it's it's kind of I guess somewhat organic. I guess the way it's growing.
Word of mouth and all
Word
that
of mouth
too.
and
We
all
get
that.
we get a lot of repeat guests, luckily. So
Oh,
they
that's
spread the
cool.
word, and then their family or their friends come
Yeah.
and say, "So and so stayed with you. They loved their stay, so we had to come."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's still
That's
the best
very
way, word of
cool.
mouth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's such a cool place, and you've got so much
Thank you.
history and nature and everything. And
Yeah.
we
Yep.
want to go explore more. You've got so much public art too downtown.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
We
it's
do.
cool art. It's like this
Yeah.
is
Yeah, you
very-
guys gotta get down the river arts. I mean, there's
The river arts
some
is awesome.
very good artists down there. I mean, anywhere from sculpture to oil painting, acrylics, and all that stuff.
You name
Yeah.
it.
I mean, it's
Definitely over 200 artists
Really,
out
yeah.
there.
It seems like
Wow.
you have different regions here, like little pockets of like you've got Munford.
You do.
And then you've
West
got, like,
Asheville is kind of
the
like
Lawyer
the hippie,
Walk.
trendy.
yeah,
and
well,
then-
yeah.
the lawyer.
Yeah, Lawyer Avenue.
I don't know where we were, but
I
somebody
like
had
Lawyer.
like
That's
pink
funny.
flamingos, and they actually had like wired up their house, their yard. It was like just as you get on Chestnut.
Oh, those are the ones from Buffalo.
Do you know what I'm talking about? They've got like I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, well you come from Buffalo, don't you? Don't you mean-
They're coming from Los Angeles.
No, they have flamingos and they have like every yard
that is a
ornament.
funny house.
It's like an antique place, but you can't even see the door because they have so many pieces of
everything
yard
is
art.
Really?
wrapped in chicken wire.
Yeah, and they're
Oh,
like
wow.
stay off and all of that.
That sounds more like Los Angeles than Chicken
That's why I said
I don't
that's
know. Sounds like
Those are Buffalo.
no. This is starting to sound like Baker or Nipton on the way to Vegas, like one of those
Oh, Baker.
It's Stanford and Son.
Sanford and Son.
There you go. Oh, Baker's not
Lisbeth, I'm coming.
That's it. It's the big one.
Oh man! All right, guys. Thank you so much for putting
sure.
up with us. It's been a blast, and
No,
it's
it's been
been
our
24
pleasure.
hours of joy.
It
And
has been fun.
yeah, we're definitely coming back. And thanks again. So everyone, lion-rose.com.
Yes.
Every social media outlet, all of that good stuff. So just get your butts here.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on down.